So the rival's not out there studying everything and not spending 10 hours, 12 hours a day doing nothing, blabbing, like I was with Jen.
Huh?
This was just this really special beast that was consuming my life. I feel like, legitimately, like, most of my waking hours were spent practicing chess and learning as much as I could, and then making things in between training sessions. So it was just, it was all of that. And I just don't have the strength of will to casually play chess, so I would like games here and there. Because the second I do, then it's over slower, I'm forgotten, go right back into trying to climb into the game, which just didn't get me, like I said, had doing that, staying up that many sleepless nights in a row, strapping it up. So it just, it wasn't, it didn't make sense. It was like when I was starting to get to League of Legends. League of Legends, and I feel like a lot of people don't get this specifically. League of Legends is a game where you'll put tons and tons of time and components, whatever,
Is this part of the show? Mr. Lenny, you're going to use magic to fix the stage now, right?
What happened?
Oh no. Maybe this isn't part of the show. The girl was still in that box, right?
This performance is over. Medical staff with me. Guards, secure the scene and detain all the... No need to be alarmed, you two. We'll get to the bottom. Unfortunately, the person who is in the magic box has been pronounced. Apparently, as of now, and after it appears that this... And there are many...
The serial disappearances case?
That's the case that Charlotte mentioned before.
I say that our powerful magician, Mr. Lenny, is now the prime suspect for the serial disappearances case.
Huh? Why me? This whole thing...
No, this all occurred during your magic show, did it not? The missing girl disappeared after being chosen, did she not? The deceased is one of your assistants, is he not? Now that I think about it, that whole speech about magicians making things
That can't be right. How can Lenny do this? He was in the box on the stage the entire time. We can even hear his voice. Besides, before the show, he told us that he would like to...
Save discussion for a later time, please. Lady Farina.
Huh? But what Lady Farina said
Kidnapping and...
I mean, that's right. I mean you, traveler. You'll support Lenny, won't you? After all, he was the one who helped you the first time we met. But with Lenny's help, our little duel... So, no more draws. Between the two of us, there must be a clear winner and...
It wasn't a draw. She obviously lost last time.
I understand. Charges have now been pressed, and as such... Well, traveler, seems... Are you willing to act as Mr. Lenny's attorney and defend him in this case? Very well. Lenny and his... The audience may...
A day is...
Lenny!
Sorry about everything that happened just now. Were you frightened?
Of course! Who wouldn't be scared?
Yeah, I'm a little shaken up myself. How could this happen? And poor Kel. I know you already claimed that you would defend me, but now it's just us talking. Good to hear. I'm sure everyone... I don't know whether... As for how that girl chose... Even a skilled and knowledgeable magician like...
Which is precisely why we need to investigate. As this book says, the impossible could not have happened. Whatever happened must have been that which is possible. I'm a bond, don't worry.
I think they look cute.
You have good taste, Lynette.
That's the right attitude. But with the guards, good thing you agree.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, just leave it to. Oh, since we're going.
Oh, well,
The secrets behind our magic are past saving.
I suppose you're... But if revealing our secrets will help, we should go...
All right, let's go have a look while the investigation teams. Hello, officer. How's the investigation going?
Come with me and you'll see. The deceased is one of Linny's assistants, named Cal. Even though he hadn't joined the troop, the assistants are usually in charge of setting up and inspecting the props, as well as assisting with the show. And as you probably saw when you were in the audience, the water tank suddenly fell. This is the real... However, if you look carefully, the box was... All these factors lining up so perfectly make... If anything, the more...
But he doesn't have a motive.
Are you both...
But
So in just a I know I've seen a lot of cases. Sorry. Anyway, you mean
The investigation team has some new findings. Turns...
See?
sorry to interrupt, but we're helping Linny and Lynette with their side of the investigation.
You're trying to help them?
Lenny used the well,
It turns out, I'm sure you already... In other words,
That much check.
let you see why I was saying it'd be tough to make a case for Linny.
Hey.
So this is the... The rope looks pretty durable. How can it be burned through so quickly by fireworks? Why are you suddenly so serious, Traveler? Whoa. Most of it was burned away, but there's still a little bit... Wait. Hello there.
The seats were all booked in advance. Sure. Her name is Halsey. Apparently, the magic troupe... Simply put, she wasn't related to the magic troupe at all. That's how it seems.
Okay, then.
No need to be so... It is of utmost...
I see that you're if you find any...
We don't have to... The Thud?
Yes, exactly. It's just that everyone was awaiting the results of Lenny's trick with I'm of the opinion when the pirate...
Wait, what?
Perhaps the balance wasn't... Oh, that's true.
That does...
Lenny's still talking to the guard. I think some... Hey, you! Yes, both of you.
Huh? You mean us?
That's right. If I'm not mistaken, you're also among those who wish to...
Well, you're right on the more about that one, but who are you?
Have you never heard of the Spina di Ros from mediating? And I, Navia, have the honor of being its renowned president. Though those who play by our rules...
I'm Silver, her attendant. Pleased to meet you.
And I'm...
Huh?
My apologies, demoiselle.
No.
Okay.
All merely That's right. Judging from the...
Really? But...
Intuition, naturally. Farina sure was... But that's... Anyway.
Sounds more...
Well, what's your opinion? All right.
Wait a minute.
Well, I say, in your opinion, do you think it's right to treat a
Well...
And why would that be?
Most astute of you, no matter how wonderful, and if that can be...
All right, that's quite enough, Maloose. Anyway, now, I need to make some preparations, following which our joint investigate...
Wait! Since when did we become...
Oh,
That's more like it.
Far be it you wish to...
You have a point. And what about you over there? What do you think? You seem like you've got some...
I have nothing to...
Oh,
we'll be making some prep... Sorry, but no one can...
no! We're not leaving! Were you always guarding this end?
Yes, after the Chief Justice gave the order, so the missing girl couldn't have left from here.
How can you be...
Well, I couldn't see, but still, we met.
So, it's safe to say... Alright, thank you for your help. We've checked everything of note here at the performance venue. Paimon wonders how Linny's discussion with the guards is going.
Understood. Then I will be going with you.
Very good.
You may spare the play.
You've arrived. Who's this? Me? I'm Spina di Rosula's guard. And these are my companions. Would you...
Oh,
Well, let's just...
I appreciate your kind interest. Come with me. We'll be heading below stage.
Huh? Below stage?
Yes, a world of But before I reveal everything, you should have a look first. Notice anything strange here? I'm not trying to be dramatic. Remembering the details of a trick will help you understand the method.
Huh.
Ah, good eye.
The back?
Very good indeed. The back of this door was patterned. Those patterns are now gone, replaced by a smooth wooden board. So, if you put 2 and 2 together, what do you get?
Oh, so there was a passageway...
I knew you'd figure out most of it as soon as you saw this. The 2 magic boxes are positioned. See this flat? The box with the lucky audience member in it would be shut.
This trolley can ring... I see.
Precisely.
So that's how you...
Once the box was, the audience member would only be able...
Right.
Ah, yes. My assistant...
And what about...
I was in the mezzanine space.
Oh.
That's how we were able to coordinate Linny's lines with the assistant.
I mean, we are... And that's...
So that's how it all worked. Wow. Every
Lynette would bring... And then but as you saw, Cal was in the box.
We really don't know how that happened.
If not for that And yet, could we have a look around? I think we can come up with some more leads.
This is the scene of the crime. So Linny and Lynette are not permitted.
Yes, of course. No need to be so strict now. I won't disappear into thin air, you know.
Thanks, everyone.
What's this? Looks like a hook tied to the end of a rope. Huh?
Perhaps it was a prop for a
Whatever it...
The floor is wet. Please be careful not to slip.
Speaking of which, why would there be water? Oh! Paimon knows! And here's a broken... Oh, her clothes are here, but she's... Right! Ugh, this is so confusing. What is this place?
It seems someone could...
Alone, perhaps. But if they had to pull
But there are no other ways... Oh, you're right! Let Paimon... Seems we're just about done investigating down here. Yes, let's head back up. Well, we've ascertained. Let's find a place.
Apologies for the wait.
So, what did the guards say? Did the
They believe the odds of that are very low, since the vent leads to the Opera House's basement. The guards have...
So the tunnels become like a secret... The plot thickens. No wonder Farina was so confident in her accusation. All the current evidence points toward Linny and Lynette.
In other words, the...
Charges and then trial. So if... That's right. This is how a trial goes in the opera. That's right. The statements from... To put it simply...
This also precludes any kind of favoritism on the part of the Chief Justice. Not that this has ever happened.
Once both sides, then... Huh?
In practice, yes, the guards also... Because we've chosen to act as the twins' proxy.
And even if that were not...
I'm ready to break out.
Whoa!
Of course. I just hope you...
In that case, let's just sort out our findings together here. Pity. I was hoping to take you to try some of Fontaine's famous desserts. I mean, what better way to properly think through our findings than over some tea and sweets? Huh. Breaking out suddenly doesn't seem like such a bad idea after all. Just kidding! Paimon will still do her best, even if there are no snacks. What do you mean, huh?
Understood, Demoiselle. Everyone, please come with me.
Wait, you're carrying...
Yes,
I have eggs, sugar, and almonds at the ready.
Good work, you two. Then I'll get to it. Please sit tight for a moment. You'll get to taste my awesome snack soon enough. These three are quite the interesting... And Paimon thought it smelled good while it was still in the... From the way you had these two guys carrying on, but you ended up doing...
I was applauding.
And I was giving encouraging smiles.
Paimon was just thinking... Well, I don't think it... Don't underestimate beating egg weights, by the way. It's a real arm workout. You also need... Anyway, give these a try. Fresh out of the oven. There's 3 for each of us. Only 3? Well, eating too many sweet treats might send all that sugar.
Tea is ready to be served. There's no need for it.
All right, then. However, the magician twins... Exactly! What? The flower vase, resulting in the shattering of the vase, the discarding of her clothes, and her abduction. Perhaps the criminal thought... Paimon thinks that makes... True, but... Huh. Could Halsey have seen... That's right. And even if she had... Nor does she have... From the sound of the... You're macaron... What?
Please don't worry about it. At my age...
Besides, Paimon knows that if she ate too many, then other... Wait! Even you don't believe... If Paimon ate those 2 extra macarons, then... Oh, Malus, set up the stove again. Huh? Making sure everyone gets 3 macarons, of course? Exactly.
As you wish, the one...
And I have the egg, sugar, and all.
Well... Well, that's it for snack time. I'm going to... I don't know what we're looking for. It would be awkward if you got all tongue-tied on stage during the... All right, thanks for your help. It was nothing. A small task for the Spina di Rosula. Silver, Malus, it's time to go. I'll be back if I find... All right, it's time to put our heads together. We've got to get our defense ready. Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Len... Besides... Thanks, Navia. Best of luck to...
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how...
To be honest, you might be disappointed.
No. We're already very grateful that you...
Well, now, don't you all look disappointed? That was to be expected, of course. But don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly disappointed should you, my most...
Since both Firstly...
Yes, of course.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. You ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands once the...
Yes, that's...
In that case, I call upon the prosecution. Lady Farina.
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly... There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct Halsey and murder Cowell.
That is simply your hypothesis based on the presumption...
Oh, is that so? And if I may ask...
The roaring countdown of the crowd, of course. That's how I kept track of the time.
And you didn't hear anything else at all? Nothing that might...
No, nothing.
I see. But when the count reached 30 seconds or so, there was a...
Huh?
Hey, hang on!
Yeah, I'm sure he could have heard a noise that loud from inside the...
I was right by the box, and I definitely heard the...
Look at those scales. Could those be...
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to use... Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my foundation... Tell me, aren't you and Lynette...
The House of the Hearth?
No wonder they did something like...
So the serial disappearances were the Fatsui's doing. Now it all makes sense.
I've got a feeling that what happened on stage probably wasn't just an accident.
That's irrelevant. Our identities have nothing to do.
Indeed. Then perhaps you could tell us your first priority is to prove yourself. The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the infighting. Oh, good thing I made all those preparations.
Hey, Lenny!
Order! Or first, what are these Please answer.
I'm sorry. Yes, there.
I knew it!
Well, that's it.
What should we do now?
Granted. In that case, what is your request?
Is that really necessary?
The defendant deceived their own...
Order! Your request is...
So, in that case, my dear aunt...
Well, this is awkward. I'm sorry.
Yeah. We based our entire reasoning on the assumption that you not to set the wrong tone or anything, but
I'm very sorry. I know you've clashed with the Vatui several times before, but our organization is very, very large, and the Harbingers...
Right now, we want to save people. As many as we can.
That's right. I'm sure I knew if it weren't for... That's why I didn't... The truth is very important, but being completely transparent about everything would see us spending more effort than we... Right. So, you be the judge. Heck, you met a Fatus who works as a magician. A trick, but still, I'm asking you...
Sorry.
well, you both say that, but... Right, let's hear...
Of course. We've been trying to find... During our investigation from that moment up...
Is that what you needed?
That's right. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House basement via the vent.
That air vent was created during the construction of...
Well, what should have been... That voice seemed on the way back. After that...
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the thud.
Because of that
That's the only way we can see...
So, it was never my wish to proceed under... But, like I said...
Well, Traveler, you decide. Hana will follow your lead however you choose.
Okay.
Thanks for giving us a chance.
The current problem is that the scales are... If we want to refute the Hydro Archon's accusation... Huh?
Both parties have returned to their position. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina...
That took at this stage. Let's revisit that scene from Linney's perspective. Countdown began. When the flatbed trolley passed, he did not realize. Finally, he used the vase to... At this time, So Linny afterward. And there you have it.
Does the defendant's side have any...
The key to refuting Lady Farina is the order of events. seems... Hmm. According to Lenny... Lenny went to the room... Lenny did...
Attention! When the countdown started, but he immediately used effect. Once he reached the crime scene, finally, he... Paimon did it!
In other words, you believe...
That's right!
My reasoning?
If that's the case, assuming that...
Oh.
That's right, you Well, your denial is very strident. You're saying that he wasn't?
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought? That's right! Lenny wasn't it. This means that when the crime happened, the same clue you used to disprove his
Well, to think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Lenny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
Could there have been a third person involved? Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. The deceased's name is Cowell. Could there have been a third? Halsey is the missing person. The deceased's name is...
That can...
Oh,
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from wood... No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrance. The deceased's name is Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel. The sound we heard may have come from a clash, but Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment. No one entered or left. The sound we heard may have come... The deceased's name... The sound we heard may have... Lenny was not in the tunnel at that... Halsey's clothing was in... No one entered or left. The sound we heard may have... It would have been tough for... Lenny was not in the tunnel. No one entered or... Halsey's clothing was in.
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still up?
Look, since we're out of debt, just like the trick is.
If only we...
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel... It's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real...
Excuse.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment. The sound we heard may have... The deceased's name is Cal. It would have been tough for both people. The vase was not broken by
Paimon gets it! It all comes... Lynette escaped from the water tank, vanishing gradually and leaving... If there's a similar method...
How could a person ever be transformed into water? This... Magic tricks are...
Even so, the truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of... Since Cal was the deceased, but given that we aren't making much progress with the case...
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end of their rope. The way I see it, your suggestion that we broaden the scope of our investigation is nothing but a tactic for stalling the trial.
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be... Guards!
We are still examining. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are
the primordial seed.
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells. The notebook has many entries concerning safe use. One of these tubes was late. The notes also state that these dissolution. As such, we believe that the defense's hypothesis is...
You gotta be kidding!
But something so ridiculous.
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy.
If people can become water, does that mean that the water tanks really... Just a minute. Could that mean...
Demoiselle, wait! What about your part?
Let's go. Just...
Order! Order! It is still. Let us assume that these clues are indeed authentic. Albeit, guards, please, Mr. Linney. It appears your hypothesis is...
Of course. If we uphold this hypothesis, I believe that many of this...
Right! Like the metal hook! Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that...
Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead... The water from the The rope that held the water... The deceased's name is... The water from the primordial... The rope that held the water... Now it seems like the hook... The water from the primordial... The deceased's name is Cowell. The rope that held the water... The rope that held the water... The deceased's name is Cowell. Lynette was in the magic box. Now it seems like the hook... The rope that held the water... The deceased's name is Cowell. The rope that held the water... The deceased's name is Cowell. I remember there was... The rope that held the water... Now it seems like the... Lynette was in the magic box. I remember there was... The deceased's name is...
The metal hook would retract gradually when the balloon attached to the... Afterward, Cowl would enter the tunnel and break, but he encountered something.
That actually links together.
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact His notes mentioned he had an accomplice who could...
On that note, the guards have just contacted me, indicate I shall now invite him on stage.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the... and we found an identical sample of the...
What?
That can't be. Does this not, my dear? Vinny did not need to take part in the having made modifications that upon his ultimately he not now as much. Am I right?
We've used up all the evidence we collected. Is this the end?
Oh no! Seems using the water is...
I think we've all seen enough. I believe this is indeed... Now then, my good... No.
Excuse me, everyone, but I'm...
Miss, I must ask you not...
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good reason for interrupting, you know. Now, I'll show you an amazing trick. One that can bring a young woman who has disappeared back in the flesh. What?
No offense, miss.
Come on now, don't be silly. But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them? And what is such a trick? Come on, but as the magic makers and stars of...
I understand.
And voila.
Wait, isn't that Halsey?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testify, I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me.
That'll teach you to...
Where should I begin? Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but that's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and... But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Linny was the...
Hey! No wonder you look familiar. Liddy even mentioned that you were...
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then he even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and I wasn't going to take... There was nowhere to run. I slipped out after the first guard...
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear, had I known that...
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now, doesn't it?
This time, we need to tell the... The strange sound. The flower vase. Lillian was...
And it's having been selected. Her panic only hearing the commotion, he did not know that mistakenly believing that the water from the primordial, the two broke with no way of escape.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting over macaron.
At this point, all the events that happened in the tunnel have now come to light.
Ah, so that's the whole story.
Bravo! Bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina, Do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
What? Are you reading my mind now? No. I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow! Look at that! She's like a deflated balloon now!
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again the actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, with some modifications to the selector to cover up any evidence while committing the deed. Cowell thought of allowing the... He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop, and he poured the water. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Liliane was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud... Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Liliane, thinking that the waters had not yet... However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box. And thus, Liliane, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude... While there is much in Linny and Liliane's conduct that should still be investigated, this case, at least, can be handed over to the... As such, Linny and Lynette.
Great work, partner.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we deserve... How did you find the water from the primal...
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake, you know.
I suspect that the accomplice... I'm sure you know what you must do.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one...
We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher up...
And now that your plan has fallen, therefore you...
Yes! Our boss. It can also be made. We've been in this...
And now he can no longer...
Such ruthlessness.
An outrageous... All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
So, we're just going back now? That's...
Traveler, Paimon! Please wait.
Linny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end, even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui. I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior As for why I'm a Fatus, that was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then too.
The Knave? The one who controls the House of the Hearth? She's your father?
That's right. And since we're here, back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner, and we began to perform magic tricks there. To my surprise, before long, an aristocrat came to me and claimed that he wished to take us in after watching my performances.
So you went from orphans to nobility just like that?
That was how we felt at first, too. As if fate was on our side and we could say goodbye to those painful days. But I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand.
That doesn't seem too...
After one particular... I waited a long time after the answer he gave me was...
Oh no. So he was gonna... But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship. I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person and hurried through the night. But by the time I leaped over the walls, avoided the guards, and made my way in, all I saw...
So...
That's right. She had rescued my sister before she could... Father, the house of the... I was hesitant, but she was also...
Oh, so that's how the two of you joined the House of the Hearth.
She has her own plans. She has gained
So...
That's right. Today's case has everyone at Hote to us orphans.
So, from small deeds like...
It's all right. I just hope you can... If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to find me. I will do my best to help you, as plain Linny.
Bye, Linny!
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navi?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're getting... Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, and...
Ah, I see. Sorry.
Don't say that.
Aw, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new... Wait.
Huh?
Well, I'd just like to have... Anyway, it would just be a meal, so it shouldn't take up...
You don't have to...
Oh, wonderful.
All right, then.
Time to go. Following one with wind and cloud.
Right here, right now.
Into the wind.
Flash! No turning back!
Clouds high. The birds come.
Right here. Emerge. What a miss.
One with nature. The wind knows me.
Rest and rebuild. Right here.
Into the wind. Time to go.
Add Astro. Thank you for
Yeah, gua baru mau selesai aja. Abis ini gua
Add
baru kah? Ngecas dulu. Bye.